What's going on, Duck Nation, College Football Nation? This is UODuckBros back with another video, and we get to look at the Utah game.
Back in the winner's circle.
Yeah, by the way, let's just get this out in the open because we're all thinking it. Thank you,
USC!
Thank you, Mr. Orgeron.
The mayor of California.
Good old Coach Margarine.
Overnight became the mayor.
Keys to the city. But, yeah, first of all, really? Stanford now
lays an egg.
After they go and play a perfect goddamn game of football, now all of a sudden they're like, oh, let's just forget how to play. Kinda.
Although I will say this. Those little press conferences that they were doing with their little nerdy glasses after they beat us, and they were gloating, and they were talking all. I saw it all on Twitter.
Yeah, it came back in a bitch in the ball sack now, didn't it?
Where are you going now? Well, you ain't going to the Rose Bowl, because we ain't losing.
No.
So, have fun with that.
So, also, just so we can go back to that, before we destroy you in this little post-game analysis, thanks Utah for beating them the first time around, by the way. Cause
I don't still know how that happened.
I don't either. But now let's get to the real stuff, because we already wasted a minute and a half of their time. So, for the first half of the game, now you guys know what we were saying when we said that Utah is the best 4-5 team that ever lived, mysteriously. Because Oregon's running game really wasn't there. And I don't know if that was a byproduct of Utah's run defense really being that good, or if it was Oregon kind of being on the "God damn it, we lost" hangover, and just kind of like being like, "Well, shit, here we go." That I kind of feel like it may have been a little bit of both of those, but it was one of those types of games where when the bread and butter's not working, because I mean we can pass all day long. But, I mean, the running game is the bread and butter of this team, and it has been for a while. When the chips are down, this is a game where Mariota, even with a bum knee, he put the team on his back, and he said, let's get this done. And it was awesome.
Yeah, it was probably the most unassuming, lackluster 44-point game I've ever seen. But, and rightfully so. I mean, there's the letdown. You're now looking at a lot of things that need to happen for you to play in the big game. So,
which are still possible, by the way.
You could tell that there wasn't quite the playing with the hair on fire that they usually come out and play with. But regardless, to their credit, they played. They won the game. They did what they had to do. At the end of the game, it looked a lot more like the guys were having a good time. And, it was nice to see that they could bounce back from a major, major letdown, which this could have very easily been a trap game.
It kind of was. You come off the big loss, and everybody's kind of slugging around a little bit, and if you're not up to snuff, man, it could get ugly.
The defense looked really, really good a lot of the time. They tackled well. The
run defense was good.
Yeah, the run defense was playing really, really mean.
That was what I was hoping we were going to do to Stanford. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, but it's definitely a much larger gap in running talent, I think.
Yeah, it's just, it was a good win. We'll take it, of course. Now,
no, you go ahead. I'll say it in a second.
The one thing that I will say is that it was a little bit disheartening to see the success that a backup quarterback was having against our secondary a lot of the time. And that probably is still a byproduct of them just playing with, I don't know.
Just getting out of the shower instead of having their hair on fire?
Right, exactly.
Pretty much.
I don't know.
The thing about that I'll say, they scored, obviously, they scored 21, but realistically they scored 14. Right. We'll put it that way. Because the last one came, when the game was well in hand, whatever. So, the thing that I did like, nobody ever likes seeing the other team score touchdowns, but both times that they scored, Oregon answered immediately, and that was awesome. It was nice to see that instead of doing the, well, God, here we go again, because at halftime it was only, 10-7?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it being, well, oh no, here we go again, they're just like, okay, well, we can't let this happen again, so we're going to go and we're going to score right now. And they did, both times. And it was I'm trying to think of the right word. It was encouraging to see them do that, to not kind of get the same like shock value that they had against Stanford, where things just started kind of piling up on themselves. They kind of took the stand and said, we're not going to allow this to happen again, and so we're going to make the move now, especially with the
Oh my lord.
Come on, tackle him, for crying out loud.
I can't even believe I just saw that. That was incredible.
No wonder why Cam Newton won the Heisman that year. Good God.
Anyway,
so I think the biggest play of the biggest play of the game was the DeAnthony Thomas kick return. I think that was the backbreaker, because I mean, when Mariota threw the long pass to Addison the first time around, I don't know how the hell he didn't score on that play, by the way.
Yeah, I don't either.
I figured because he caught that running in full stride that he was gone like immediately, but he wasn't, and it was kind of weird because usually he has the breakaway speed, but hey.
He's not DeAnthony.
No, he's not. No.
We saw what happens when DeAnthony Thomas outruns everyone.
And that was kind of like a demoralizing blow in a way, because they're like, oh yeah, we went and scored. Oh, damn it, they scored.
Yeah.
But I think that when they scored that other one, as soon as DeAnthony took that back, that was just kind of the, well, dude. So every time we score, they're just going to go score immediately. I think that was kind of the thing that really put it away in a sense. And then I mean, after that, Oregon's running game kind of started to get going a little bit. I mean, they only ended up with like 170 yards rushing. I think it might have actually been less than that, but I mean, that's the nice thing, knowing that, you know, your running game really didn't look so hot, but Mariota decided that he was just going to go off and have a passing frenzy, and it was great.
No, absolutely.
It really was.
And still leading the nation in QBR, still almost 360 attempts now without an interception.
Which is actually...
Still had 3 touchdown game.
Which, by the way, it's not only a Pac-12 record for that, but now Mariota now owns the NCAA career record for touchdown to interception ratio, where he's only had 0.93%. So not even 1% of his passes have been intercepted in his career, and that's the best of all time. But
he won't win the Heisman because, you know, he's not the best quarterback or anything.
Because he's not Johnny Manziel.
Nope, with 11 interceptions.
Even though, let's just run down really quick the categories that Mariota is higher up on the list than Manziel. Higher in total QBR, higher in fourth quarter QBR, higher in... actually lower in interceptions by 11, by the way. I don't even know, like, that's the most surprising stat to me, that people they're totally throwing that aside. They're like, oh, well, he threw 11 interceptions, but he's exciting to watch. Oh, it's so much fun to watch him. It's like, but he's sloppy. He threw 3 interceptions at Mississippi State. Like, Mariota hasn't thrown an interception in 366 days. It's like, what more do you need?
I don't know.
Yards per carry.
It's because he doesn't have that $1 million smile and that vibrant personality.
Unfortunately, he doesn't have the Heisman moment. Had they beat Stanford, it was locked up in a bag, ready to ship. Unfortunately. I mean,
for us to have a flawless, for him to have a flawless season where these other guys can, Johnny Manziel's lost 2 games. Jameis Winston hasn't lost yet, so credit to him. But Johnny Manziel even being second in the Heisman after throwing 11 interceptions.
And having 2 losses. Of which one of them, I get it, Auburn's ranked in the top 10 now. But when they lost that game, Auburn was ranked 25.
But losses are still losses to me.
It doesn't matter if you play well in it. You still lost the game. Understandably, Mariota had a good game in the Stanford game still. He had 250 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but they lost the game. It's just, I don't know. The whole thing is screwed to me. It's just, they want who they want, and they're going to have what they want. Whether it's justified or not, it's just what it is. But even though we have now completely shied away from talking about Utah, but again, it was a game. It was what we thought it was going to be. Actually, our score predictions were almost spot on.
Pretty much.
Which I was like, dude, this is going to be another low-scoring... I don't know. Personally, I love the way West Coast football is. I just don't know how SEC fans can watch that stuff. like the 10-7 games or like the 17-14 games. I don't know how they do it. I really don't know. I don't know. Like,
well, we had to watch one against Stanford.
I know.
And that was...
But, I mean, see, like, I feel like it seems like an anomaly when they get the 38-35 games. Like, everybody's like, oh my God, I don't even know. We don't see offense like this nearly ever, except for within the last, like, year or two when they finally started developing more offense. Or maybe the defenses are going down a little. I don't know. But... yeah, that's pretty much what it is. We've totally gone off track on this completely.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is, ladies and gentlemen, and other life forms in the world, is that Oregon won the game. It may not have been the prettiest 44 points in the world.
No.
But Mariota sure looked good as all hell out there. Even though he didn't run, but I didn't expect him to, because his knee is still made out of paper mache right now. But it's getting better. And that's what it is. That's really what it is. So... that's pretty much all we have to get out of the way for today. When we come back, we're looking forward to Arizona. Pictures.
The Zona Zoo.
Pictures of Arizona. So, you guys take it easy. This is UODuckBros saying thanks for watching, and as always,
Go Ducks.
Go Ducks.